When playing this deck, you need to make sure that you make the most out of Satya's ability. Satya reads, Menace Haste. Whenever Satya Aetherflux Genius attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of up to one other target non-token creature you control. You get 2 energy counters. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that token unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. So inside this deck, there are a ton of creatures that have useful abilities. Whenever we're thinking about casting our commander, we always want to look at our board state and ask, what creature do I want or can copy? Because if I play Satya and just attack with Satya, sure, I'm gonna get the 2 energy counters, but as my opponents untap their lands, they can cast removal on Satya to remove it. So it's much better to play Satya after you have a creature to copy on the board. This deck has a ton of cards that give you something called energy counters. Now, energy counters is a resource that you can use to fuel the combos and the powerful plays inside this commander deck. Let's imagine that we are in our pre-combat main phase and we have 6 energy counters. And going into this next combat, we want to take advantage of our Lightning Runner's ability. Lightning Runner reads, whenever Lightning Runner attacks, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay 8 energy. If you do, untap all creatures you control, and after this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Looking at our board state, we know that as we attack the Lightning Runner, we're gonna get 2 energy, which is gonna put us up to 8 energy to activate this ability. But on the battlefield right now, we also have something called an Unstable Amulet, which we can pay 2 energy to exile the top card of our library and play that card this turn potentially. Do we pay the 2 energy, bringing us down to 4, or do we take advantage of the extra combat step? The point of this key is to make sure that you are constantly monitoring the amount of energy that you have. Because if I'm not constantly monitoring the energy I have, I don't know that the 2 energy I spend here is going to keep me from activating this ability, thus removing me from gaining an extra combat step. When you play your games, keep in mind that this is a mid-range commander deck, which means that you can play a bit more aggressively than you would other commander decks. So let's say if I was to have this many creatures on the battlefield, 5, I would look at my board state and I would say that I can attack with 1, 2, 3 creatures, and I can keep 2 to hold up to block. In other commander decks, sometimes you don't even want to attack at all. You just play very slow, or in some commander decks, it doesn't even matter. You just attack with everything. In this commander deck, attack as it makes sense to attack. Play aggressively, but not so aggressively that you're going to overextend. The reason this is important is because Satya's ability is incredibly explosive, and out of nowhere, you can generate 20-30 damage depending on the combo that you assemble inside the deck. So just make sure that you're slowly bringing down your opponent's life total so that when you assemble that combo, it one-shots them out of the game. This right here is the most important combo inside this deck because Aether Refinery reads, if you would get 1 or more energy counters, you get twice that many energy instead. Both Satya and Lightning Runner give us 2 energy counters each as they attack. Keep in mind that when you're ordering the abilities, make sure Satya is the one that gives you 2 energy counters first, and then you have Lightning Runner give you the energy counters second. The reason that's important is because Satya is going to give you 2 counters, and then because of Aether Refinery, because you gain 2, you're going to go up to 4. And then as Lightning Runner's trigger attacks, because you ordered it that way, you're going to get 2. And then because of the Aether Refinery, you're going to get 2 more, which more importantly puts you at 8 energy counters, which means that you can activate Lightning Runner's ability to get an additional combat phase.
Brother,
which means that you would then go to combat again after this combat phase. You would then attack with each of the creatures, gain the 8 energy, and go to combat again. Keeping in mind that every single time Satya attacks, Satya is also going to create an attacking token that's a copy of a creature you control. Now, because this deck tends to be a bit more complicated than other precons, I highly recommend if you're a newer player that you take the deck, you shuffle it up, and you draw 7 cards and act like you're playing against an opponent. When you do this, it's gonna allow you to see the different combos that are possible when playing this commander deck, but most importantly to me, it allows you to practice conserving your energy counters and saving them so that you gain that ability, because managing the cards and at the same time managing the amount of energy counters you have, and then knowing the cards that combo with Satya, and then playing the cards that give you the mana at the right time is quite a delicate experience. So playtesting or practicing is incredibly important. Keep in mind, if you really don't know how to do this, there are hundreds, literal hundreds of videos on this channel that teach you guys how to play test commander decks. And keep in mind that Command Zone also created a video that talks about playtesting, which is very similar to the things I do over here on my channel. And if that helps, it can help you to create this experience so that you're able to go out, play against your friends, and know exactly what you're doing so that you can win more games. If you found value in this video, like and subscribe. Always remember, eat healthy, okay? Work out every single day. And most importantly, you guys gotta remember to believe in yourself, all right? Peace out, people.